Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for joining me on this Telegram channel of Mindset Transformation Africa. My name is Michael Ujola for Mindset Transformation Africa, alright? So, on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift, I want us to talk again about another form of growth. Yeah, we spoke about mental growth, we've spoken a little bit about spiritual growth, and today we will talk a little bit also about emotional growth. There are four things that I believe that if we pay attention to them, it will enhance our emotional maturity. You've heard about emotional intelligence quotient, all right? EQ, emotional quotient, emotional intelligence, and all that. So that's not what this episode will be about, but it's one of the form, one way or another. It will also enhance that emotional growth. For your emotional growth, one thing I will advise you do is learn to listen. Learn to listen. I believe many of us hear things, but we don't listen. Listening is an active virtue, it's an active habit that you have to develop. It's something that you don't assume you are doing. This is the way I know people are not listening. It's when they think they are. It's when they tell you they are listening. Just know that they are not listening. When humans tell you they are doing something, when you are the one that have to announce it that this is what you are doing, believe me or not, 80% of the time you're not doing that. Because if you're really doing that, you won't have time to announce that you are doing it, because people will know you are doing it. All right, you don't need to say it that you are doing it for people to know you're doing it. So when you're talking to someone, if you are in a conversation with someone, whether online, offline, physical, or virtual, and you guys are talking, you're vibing, and you feel off, you don't feel that the other person is really listening to you, and you ask, "Are you listening to me?" Just they will say they are, but the way you know is to ask them, "Okay, repeat what I just said." All right, say what I said in the last two things I said. Just repeat it. You discover that exactly what you said will not be what will be repeated back to you, and there will be embellishment, there will be assumptions, there will be summarization, there won't be depth. I'm not saying that we should be able to repeat you word for word. Some people are brilliant like that, even though they are still not listening, but they will still repeat what you said word for word, even though they don't understand what you said. So listening demands rapt attention. When you want to develop yourself emotionally, one of the key things that I would say we learn is listening, active listening. And one of the ways that you can practice listening is whenever you are in conversation with someone, whatever they say, ask them back. Ask them what they said in their own words, and tell them what you understood by what they just said, so that you be able to confirm maybe you understood them or not. That's one way for you to practice active listening. When you're talking to someone about maybe a football match and they are talking about someone that scored a goal, ask them, all right, are you saying that this person scored the first goal? If they say, oh yes, that means you're hearing them, you're listening to them, you're actively participating in the discussion. You're not just passively hearing things that is passing through your ears. No, you're actively participating, because listening demands participation. That means you respect the other person enough to want to hear them well, to want to listen to what they say, to want to understand. And it develops our emotions. It makes us grave. It makes us patient. That's emotional maturity right there. You become more patient. You become more temperate. You listen. That's one way for you to grow emotionally. Learn to listen. Another way for you to develop your emotions is reflect. You need to learn how to reflect. Ponder upon what you just went through. For example, you ponder upon your day, how your day went. Try to close your eyes and go back to when you first stood up from your bed in the morning. Go that far. When you started your day, what did you start your day with? Did you start just going on the social media and scrolling through your last read messages, your Instagram feed and all? Do you just went directly to Facebook, start flipping? Where you went directly to your WhatsApp, you went to the group and start reading what the last thing everybody said last night and all? How did you start your day? Go that far. Then after that, what did you do? You did your exercise or not? You drank water or not? You read or not? You prayed or not? What did you do? Then what next did you do? The chores around the house. You prepare your kids or you don't have one. You prepare. What do? You prepare for work. You went to work. What happened at work? Reflect. What did you say to your boss? Should you have said that? Should you have used another word? Should you have taken time off to do? Can you reflect? All right. By reflecting, you are subconsciously developing yourself and living intentionally. That's what you're doing. You're living intentionally. You are intentionally living. You are not just winging it. You are not just assuming that, oh, the day is gone, now the day is over, then it's over. Tomorrow we go again. No. That's why many of us will repeat exactly what you did tomorrow, exactly what you did yesterday, exactly what you did 5 years ago, you are still doing now, because you don't reflect. You are still acting like a child, you are still behaving immaturely, the same way you behave when you were 20, the same way when you behave when you were 15, you are behaving when you were 35, you are behaving at 45, you are behaving at 30. Why? Because you don't ponder. You don't reflect on your lives. You don't take time to take stock of how your day went. And I will advise you, take stock on paper. Reflect on inside your journal. When you are reflecting, reflect inside your journal. Reflect on inside your notepad. Reflect. You can also record your reflections. You can just press record on your phone and talk about your reflections. I should have done this better. I should have not said that back to my boss. Reflect. Another way for you to grow emotionally, you have to accept life as it is. Accept life as it's dealing with you, as it is. You cannot change what you've not yet accepted, because there will be conflict in your soul. You are fighting what is happening to you. What you give attention to multiplies. So when you keep fighting what you don't like, it multiplies. First, accept them. Accept life as it is. Good, right? Accept it. Bad, accept it. When you accept it, that doesn't mean you love it. That doesn't mean you want it to continue. No. You're trying to understand what just happened. And by reflecting after you've accepted, you understand better, then you'll be able to change course. Accept. Acceptance. Accept the things you cannot change, all right? You accept it. Many people are struggling. You're struggling. You keep fighting things. You keep trying to change your environment. There are good things inside that bad environment, all right? Yes, they might not enhance your life fully to the level that you want, but first accept the reality around you, then use those good things to get yourself out of that environment. But first, you accept. When you accept things you cannot control, you become more mature emotionally. You become more better emotionally. Your life has more wisdom, more gravity. You are not vain. You are not fickle. You are not surface. You're deep. You're a deep human being. Because now you've learned to flow with the tide sometimes, or even all the time. Acceptance. And finally, for you to grow emotionally, you need to change. All right? You need to accept change as part of life. You've heard it over and over again that one of the most, if not the most constant thing in life is change. All of us are clamoring now, climate change here, climate change there is real. Flash flood here and there is real. Change is inevitable. Whether you accept it or not, it can be forced on you. And that is bad. When change is forced on you, it is bad. So, change. So, for you to grow emotionally, for your emotional growth, listen, reflect, accept, and change. Thank you for listening to me on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift, and we will talk tomorrow. Bye.